Hi, I'm Ashley, and this is Garden Buzz. This year I planted a cut flower garden, and I'm going to try my hand in making some arrangements. Here's some flowers I grew. This is a Xanthos Cosmo. It has pale yellow and white petals with a bright yellow center. The spatula's button is called Classic Romantic Mix. Some of the flowers were white and pink. These are zinnias. They are called Candy Mix. The flowers get about 2 to 3 inches and come in a variety of colors, such as pink, orange, white, and red. Their centers look like pom-poms. I grew a variety of sunflowers. My favorite was Golden Cheer. It looks like a big, huge chrysanthemum. Lemon Queen is described perfectly. Its petals are a bright yellow and absolutely gorgeous. I also grew the American Giant, which is very impressive. This is a Mexican sunflower. The petals and the center are bright orange. I did not have many fillers for my arrangements, so I went searching around my yard for flowers in my beds that I could use, and I decided to use some of my Russian sage. If you have ever grown Russian sage in your garden, you know it has a pleasant fragrance. It has light purple blooms and grayish-green foliage. The leaves are also a serrated look. They look really beautiful. And I thought this would look great in a flower arrangement. I also used some of my Blue Better Salvia that I grew from seed. It has bluish purple blooms and a nice green foliage. I did grow some fillers for vases in my cut flower garden, but they were planted in mid-July and didn't bloom until later in the season. I had grown Baby's Breath, which is a little white flower, and Forget-Me-Not, which is a little bluish purple flower. I will put a picture of both of them up on the screen so you can see what they looked like when they did bloom. I also used some of my carrot foliage and Cosmo foliage as fillers. In my front yard, I have these 4 boxes, and they are full of zinnias. These zinnias are a little bit different than my cut flower garden. Let me show you what they look like. They are violet and a coral color. I got them from a company called Park Seeds. One is called Park Picks Violet, and the other is called Park Picks Coral. The blooms get about 4 to 5 inches wide, and they grow about 3 feet tall. I absolutely love these. These are one I will repeat again. Not in my front yard because I want to do a different color scheme next year, but definitely in my cut flower garden. They are going to make beautiful arrangements in my vases. I'm just going to pick the rest of these flowers and go to my cut flower garden and get some of my cosmos, bachelor buttons, and some of my sunflowers, and then we'll head inside and put these arrangements together. So the flowers I ended up picking, you can see I've got a few of the Golden Cheer sunflowers, some Cosmo foliage, white candy zinnias, the Bachelor Buttons Romantic Mix, and a few sunflowers I don't think I mentioned at the first of the video. The smaller ones are Peach Passion, and the other ones are part of a tall border mix. And of course, I've got my Parks Picks Violet and Coral Zinnias, along with some Russian Sage and Salvia for fillers. Some other supplies you're going to need are a watering can, pruners, something to hold your flower arrangement. These are a few vases I've kept over the years, and some flower food. I got this from Amazon. It's called Crystal Clear Premium Flower Care. The first thing you're going to want to do is fill your vase almost to the top with water. Just leave enough room that when you start putting your flowers and your fillers in the water, it does not overflow. Next, you're going to want to add your flower food. So like I said, I use the Crystal Premium Flower Food that I bought from Amazon. It got really good ratings, so I decided to try it, and it did a great job for me. My flowers probably lasted about a week and a half, 2 weeks, which is about normal for zinnias, and I also had some dahlias in there. You're going to notice that at first, when I put the flower food in, it is very cloudy, even after I stir it up. But after it dissolves and sits for a little bit, the water becomes clear again. So here's some tips and some information I found out about arranging cut flowers. Everything I read said to cut your flower stems at a 45-degree angle, and it said that this increases the surface area so the flower can absorb more water. I also read that you should pull all the foliage off the flower that will touch the water inside the vase. This will help decrease any bacteria in the water and keep the water clean and free of any foul odors, which who wants foul odors in their vase? Usually those are inside our house. We like to keep our foul odors out of our house. Make sure your vase is clean, and that also helps eliminate bacterial problems. And check your water level, add new water and food every few days. These tips should prolong the life of your cut flowers. I did not read much on if there is a right way or a wrong way to fill a flower vase full of cut flowers. So I decided to start with the foliage and fillers first, and then move on to my smaller flowers and graduate to my larger flowers. This method did not work for me. I got to the end and I just was not happy with my arrangement. So I took everything out and started over. And I went the opposite way this time. I started with the bigger flowers and ended up doing the foliage last, which worked out a lot better for me. By the way, my camera did die on me. So after I put this first arrangement together, you don't actually see the process of me filling the last few vases with flowers. But at the end, I will show you some pictures I took of them. I really enjoyed this process. It was a lot of fun to arrange the flowers, and it just was a happy feeling to walk into my home every day after work and see these bright, beautiful flowers on my shelves and countertops in my kitchen or in my living room. It definitely is something that I will do again next year. So let's continue to watch this process and see how they turn out. I hope you enjoy, and happy gardening.